All right, good afternoon. It's John McLaughlin. Welcome back to another Crossfire trading session. It's just gone 1 o'clock. It's the 4th of January 2023, and on the charts we've got Euro CAD, the Euro USD, GBP CAD, and GBP USD. And the markets, to be honest, are still warming up after the new year. It usually takes until even sometimes the sort of second week in January to really get them back to kind of normal. Yesterday was some weird price action, so let's go and have a look and see what's happened. So we've got the 15-minute time frame. We're on Euro. This is Euro CAD, and as I mentioned yesterday, there's a lot of imbalance up here. Okay, and it's started to go back. It's taken out some of that imbalance already. So what we'll do first, I think the that imbalance has been mitigated, has been taken out. That imbalance there, let's go and take that out. This imbalance above, this is still active. Okay, that's still active. That's still active. Okay, so we'll keep that on. So all we do with this strategy, it's a really simple strategy, and it's a strategy that you want to learn. So we go and put the vertical line on there on the 1300 candle. It's given us indication that we've got some news, so we're going to have a look at that in a second. And we'll go and put on our couple of trend lines. The trend lines, all the indicators, the imbalance, I like to put on the 15 minute, and then we'll go and trade on the 2 minute, or we'll look at potential trades on the 2 minute. Gives a bit of an early warning system. Okay, so look at Euro USD. So what's happened with this? And we had that big move, okay, and this is what created all that imbalance for us. It's started to come back, and we may well see some moves up to take out further imbalance. But like I said, the markets aren't really. There's not a huge amount of volume to take those really good trades. Post. Have I just put that on there? Euro CAD, Euro USD. That's weird. We've got a line on there already. I'll put it on again. Right, so trend line. Put two trend lines on, and we'll just get these trend lines on just ready for 13.15. There we go. And again, news there. GBP CAD. What's happened with this? Very similar. Okay. Come back. It's taken out, almost taken out the imbalance, but we'll keep that imbalance on because there's still a little bit to take out. But this imbalance down here, that's been taken out. So we'll keep that on. Let's go and have a bit of a zoom in. So vertical line and two trend lines. And all we're going to do is repeat the process for all four pairs. Right, last pair is GBP USD. Let's go and see what's happened to this lad overnight. So again, big push down. This is what we looked at yesterday. Said yesterday it may well want to take out some of this imbalance. That's what it's starting to do. It's starting to go back. So we could see a continuation of that all the way up to this imbalance before a potential move in whatever direction. We'll have a look. So let's go and have a look at this. So vertical line, and then we'll put our trend lines on. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take out this imbalance as well, just because as you can see right now the charts are looking a little bit too busy for me. Let's take out these areas of interest as well. Okay, 1307. Let's go and have a look at some news. So my FX book. Economic calendar. That's going to tell us what's going on. So right now, high impact news at 13:15. Okay, look at this. High impact news at 13:30. High impact news at 13:30. All for the US and Canadian. we've got high impact news there on the euro, which is you don't usually see it at 1 o'clock. But yeah, lots of high impact news today. So what do we do when we've got high impact news? Well, I'll show you. Okay, so we've got the USD. So this is what I don't always like about TradingView, is that you trade in the Euro USD and it doesn't show it up. Okay, it doesn't show up the US news, which is pretty useless, to be quite honest. Right, so 13.15 and 13.30. So what I'll do, I'll put my 13.15 on there, and I've just got a little template that says high impact news. Okay, and 13.30. But I'll take that one off, because I'll just put the news on 13.30. There we go. Right, so and obviously we've got Canadian dollar at 14.30. There we go. I'll put the high impact news for Canadian. Right, 13.09. So let's see what we've got here. So this imbalance down here is still active, and this imbalance up here is still active, so we're okay for that. What I'll do as well is I'll just take off the indicator just to make it a bit cleaner. So all we're doing with this, really simple, is we're looking at the 13.15 candle, or 1300 candle, until it reaches 13.15. It will stop repainting, and then we can see where it's going to go. But essentially all we're looking for is, if you look at the wick at the top and the wick at the bottom, okay, what's the higher high of that wick? Okay, so we look left, okay, and we can see it's this red candle here. If you look at the crosshairs, okay, that candle there. Look at my lower low, then what we've got is, where's the lower low on this? Well, it's all next to it. There, okay. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to put those on at 13.15. Really simple and straightforward. What I've got on my chart, let me just put the indicators back on. So the first indicator I use is the straightforward Forex indicator. That gives us a wave direction, whether it's a wave up or a wave down. Okay, wave up, so we're looking for potential buys, and then sells on the wave down. We've got, I always like to use the PSAR, these dots here, the parabolic stop and reverse, so it gives us indication of price movement, which way it's going. So the dot is on the top, pushing price down. Okay, the green underneath, pushing price up. Okay, it doesn't physically push it up, but it just gives us an indication of that. The other thing I've got here is the wave indicator itself. Okay, so green, okay, gives us the indication of the move, and sometimes it can tell us that if we want to stay into trades longer or not. And then the opposite is true, where we've got the red wave candles for potential sells. I've got the moving averages, the EMAs, so let's just take that off again. So the EMAs on here, I've got the 200, the 62, the 13, and then also attached to this one, I've got the 5. Okay, and what I like to see is those moving averages in order, and also what we look for is crossovers. Okay, so a crossover can give us a potential change of direction, and these EMAs, they all act as both support and resistance. Sometimes the 200 moving average can act as a bit of an attractor to price, so price may want to go back to it. And as you can see throughout the whole sessions that we do. The other thing I like to use as well are also the pivot points. Now these areas of interest that I put on, typically they are just pivot points. Okay, but the pivot points here, I'll just use an indicator called pivots. It's free to use. and you can put that on, and it just gives you an idea of support and resistance zones. So that can be really good. The other thing as well is the WOD RATA. Okay, this is the WOD RATA. First of all, I've got the histogram. Okay, the histogram will tell us the direction of the price, and the darker reds and the darker greens, okay, see those colours there, that indicates strength, and the slightly weaker colours obviously gives us a weaker price. Okay, and what we've got here, this zone, this blue zone, let me just see if I can just click on that, there we go. So this blue zone, okay, is the dead zone. This sort of tells us there's no volume, there's no point in getting in a trade because there's no real volume about. And also we've got this explosion line, okay, so right now, where I'm showing you, the explosion line is in the dead zone. So you look at all your variables when you're looking at taking a trade, and you go, well, there's no volume, so there's no point getting in, okay. Then suddenly it starts to move away, and we go, okay, well, it's moving away from the dead zone, so that gives us a probability stack that the trade is going in our direction. In this case, it's going for a buy. Okay, and the opposite is true from here. Sells. Okay, so you've got a nice big push down here, but the explosion line is moving back towards the dead zone. Okay, so we kind of look at that and go, okay, is that telling us the information that we need? And as you can see from there, look, nice big push, but then suddenly it flatlined. Okay, we've got this flat line. All right, so you know, that sort of, it can give us a bit of a sanity check, the WOD RATA, okay, and really all it's doing, it's just telling us what is actually happening at the time. And as a new trader, or if you're just getting started, or if you're looking to implement a new strategy, all you're looking for is those additional stacks of probability, okay, to confirm your decision whether to get in a trade, whether to stay out, or whatever to do. Okay. Right, so what are we on now? On 13, oh, look at that, 13.15. Right, so let's take the indicators off so we can see what we're doing. So there's our candle, 1300 candle. We're looking for the higher high next to this one, which is the one straight next to it. We'll put our magnet tool on. There it is there, and there's no wick, so we put it through. Is there a wick? Yeah, there's a tiny wick. If there was no wick, then we'll just put it through the center of the body, okay, but either way, it's about the same because it's a very small wick. Bottom of this wick here, where's the lower low? Okay, well, it's this green candle here. So that goes across, and we put it on bottom of the wick. There we go. That's it. Okay, and later on we can put things on like the imbalance and all that sort of good stuff, which you should be familiar with right now. Okay, so we'll put this on the 2-minute time frame. And I'll put the indicators back on and take off the magnet tool. Okay, and there we go. Ready for trading. All right, Euro USD. Let's have a look. Where is the higher high for this one? Okay, is the red candle. Is it? No, it isn't. So yeah, it's a red candle right next to it. So I'll put the magnet tool on. So let's take these indicators off. There you go, that's better. Put that onto the top of the wick, and we've got the lower low here, which is this green candle here, and onto there. There we go. Let me just take this off for a second. Okay. Right, magnet tool off, indicators back on, and we're on the 2-minute time frame. GBP CAD. Magnet tool goes on. Where's the higher high to this one? The higher high is this green doji candle here with a big wick and no body. The lower low. The lower low is a green candle here. Oh yeah. Right, onto there. 2 minutes. Indicators back on. There we go. You can see right now. It's just like consolidation. So that's kind of, it could well be the name of the game for today, and for the next week or so until the markets actually get themselves sorted out. Right, higher high for this one. We'll call it this red candle. Magnet tool on. Q. And back down onto the top of the wick. So that wick there. And we've got the lower low, which is the one here. There we go. Bottom of the wick. Just there. Right, 2 minute time frame. The indicators are on. We'll take off the magnet tool and we'll come back and see. That's a mooch through. So Euro CAD, what's that doing? Well, the Euro CAD has gone above the green trend line. Okay, so check. We're kind of in check for the, but look at this, look at this. Look at that, all the way along, okay? Starting to move away, but nothing. It's still in the dead zone, still no volume in the market. So I think today is going to be very similar to yesterday, where we don't really get anything very good. Remember, we want to be taking really good trades, or great trades, not just any trade, as I was always told when I was learning this. So that the areas of interest for this, okay, if we look at somewhere around here, so that's going to be the higher, the higher high is up here, but I would never trade to that area because it's too optimistic. So if we were to look at that area in terms of pips, first of all, a major area is the pivot line, okay, at 1.5 pips. And then the other area of interest that we've got is 5 pips. So when you look at, you know, broker spread, there's not enough in there, and this pivot line is going to act as resistance. So, you know, even though you might be getting excited because the price is going above the green trend line, when you put all the variables together, it just tells you, nah, it's not really a trade that but it's not a great trade at all. And look at the WADR. The WADR is starting to move away from the explosion line now. We've got a wave up, okay, we've got the PSAR is there. But really, for me, looking at this, see, look, high there, you got the highs here, okay, on this pivot line. What else have we got? This takes us back to the 2nd, so 2 days ago. It's not really great. Right, so let's come back to that. Okay, what have we got going on now? Okay, so price right now is in between the green trend line and the red trend line. Okay, so it was kind of in the middle of nowhere, and right now price is this red trend line is offering resistance to the downside. Look, I mean, look, the WADR is the same. There's no volume in it. We've got the red, a little bit of strength, but it's still too close to the dead zone, and obviously now it's just gone a lighter colour. We're currently in a wave down, which is okay. We've got a green PSAR, which isn't okay. Okay, so all these things are looking at to keep us out, and for that PSAR to change to red, that price has got to come all the way down and touch that PSAR. Okay, then it'll flip red. Okay, so nothing really doing too much at the moment. And in terms of, you know, where has price gone previously? So we've got this big sort of, I would say, area of consolidation here. We've got this big push to the downside from here. Okay, this was yesterday. Sideways movement at the start of the session, or the start of the new day. Pushed up this morning, sort of 6-7 o'clock, when the London and European markets open. It pushed up, then it pushed back down again. So it pushed back down again at 10 o'clock, and now it's kind of going sideways once again. And also remember, we've got this news as well. So what do we want to be doing when it comes to news? We want to be staying out. So Euro USD, depending on what's going to happen on the Euro news. Euro news is it's probably right now, is it? Yeah, the first lot of Euro news was 13.15, and then 13.30. So depending on what happens, the euro could increase in strength or decrease. So look at GBP CAD. All right, GBP CAD. Okay, it's above. I mean, would you go into that for a potential? I mean, there's your kind of higher high. It's already peaked at the higher high there. So let me put a line on so I can show you. If I put it on down here. Okay. So look, as soon as you put a line on it, things start to make sense. You go, oh yeah, I see that. If you bring it down to this, where it wicked to here, okay, you can see that you've got more taps. Okay, so it's tapped in there, it's tapped in here, tapped in over there, it's tapped there. So now what we've got is resistance at this level here. So should that price want to push through, we may well see a move to the pivot line. Okay, but I would want to see this price break through first. And if anything like yesterday, we had these moves yesterday where price broke through and then went there, and it went back down to the downside. I think we had two or three that did the same thing, because there's just no volume yet. You can see the WOD Arata, it's still in the dead zone. It's starting to move away slightly from that dead zone, but as you can see right now, the price is, or the histogram is a lighter green, so it's not showing us any major strength. So we've got 20. Let's have just a quick look at this before we move on. Let's have just a quick look at the GBP USD. Yeah. So GBP CAD. Remember, we've got CAD news coming up. What time's the CAD news? At 14:30. So we've got right. Just going to paint a new one. So now this line here is going to act as support for this. If it continues to go up, it's going to act as support, which it may well do. So let's say if we're going to take a trade on here, okay, we're going to go long. I'll put the thing on. Right. So where are we in terms of a stop loss? Okay, 11.3 pips to the line here, which is the engulfing candle. Kind of below the 62 moving average. You're looking at about a 10 pip stop loss, which is on the max side, because what we want to be doing, we want to be getting a 1-to-2 ratio, and our 1-to-2 takes us just above this pivot line. Ideally we'd want to just go below the pivot line, but you know, if we did that, we'd still be getting a sort of a 1 to 1.6, which isn't too bad, but you know, I want to be getting a 1-to-2. Like you say, look, you see it's come below this line again, which means it's still resistance. It's still offering resistance. Okay. You know, and when there's no real volume in the markets, it does make the markets a little bit more unpredictable compared to what you would normally do under normal circumstances, i.e. not just after Christmas. Right, so what have we got here? We've got this is the pound US dollar. It's come below the red trend line. Okay, it's pushed down, but now it's starting to push back up again, and currently we're at this crossroads here, And look how congested everything is. All the moving averages are all congested together. We've got, it's just nasty. You know what I mean? It's just rubbish. We don't want anything. We don't want to be taking anything in this direction. And sometimes your best decision when the markets are like this is just to stay out. No one's forcing you to get in a trade. So let's go back to Euro CAD. Let's see what's happened to that. Yeah, you see how it came up? Exactly the same what happened yesterday. It went up to the area of interest and then pulled back. Okay, so under normal circumstances you might go, well, okay, it's going above the trend line. This is a potential buy. Everything looks good, but because there's not enough oomph, i.e., not enough volume or liquidity about, the markets are just going, ugh, which is the official technical term, of course. Same thing there. You know, if you just look at this particular price action, is just kind of going sideways. Right, GBP CAD, what have we got going on there? Nothing. So we're still in this imbalance. So the price, we're just in this imbalance. So the price still needs to go up to there. It still needs to take out this imbalance, okay? And we've got imbalance to, yeah, we've still got imbalance to the upside as well. So we've got loads of imbalance about. Sorry for messing about with the charts. I know it's annoying when people do this, but I like to be able to see the candles. Yeah, I think what's going to happen today is we're still going to get just, you know, ups and downs in this zone. So GU, what's happened to GU? Well, it's gone down to the downside, but then that's probably more of a representation of the news. So the US news at 13:30, which is just now. 13:30, and as you can see, pure manipulation. This isn't volume in the markets, this is just the banks dumping money in to manipulate the markets. Okay, so currently what we've got now is somewhere in the region, obviously there's only 10 pips in that, but with 10 pips you're still looking at $100 million, and I can guarantee it wasn't your granny with her savings under the bed trading the Forex. It was the institutions pushing the price. You myself. So why do they push the price? Okay. Well, the thing is with the banks, because they deal with so much money, like we retail traders, we need a buyer and a seller. Okay. So if we're chucking $500 or $1,000 onto the markets, then the likelihood of somebody else having the same amount of money to buy and sell is pretty likely. But how likely is it that someone's got $100 million to say, oh, I'll buy that? They haven't. Okay, so the banks have to manipulate the markets to liquidate the markets. So what you've got above and where you've got news. Okay, let me see if I can find my. Oh, I can't find it. Anyway, so let me do this. There we go. So here, look at that. You've got money, okay? And here, you've got money in the form of people's stop losses, okay? And there's more money, obviously, when the markets are there's more volume in the markets, when you haven't got this. And people put their stop losses here, and the banks can see wherever people's stop losses are. Okay, so you might look at a trade. You might be, thinking, oh, let's get in for a buy. Okay, so if we're in for a buy, then we'll put our stop losses down here. Okay, the banks can see the stop losses and take everyone's stop losses out to liquidate the market for themselves, so they can then dump as much money as they can in to take the price in their direction. Okay, so it's really important to really understand the news and know what's happening, and understand what the banks do and why they do it. Okay, and the best thing I would say when it comes to news, as a retail trader, when you're just getting started, is just stay out of it. And the way I like to explain it, it's almost like you've got the banks there with a big flamethrower and they're setting fire to a room, okay, and all the retail traders are either already in there or they run in, okay, and they're all going to get burned. All right, so you either need to know what you're doing, i.e. put your protective equipment on, and that takes a bit more training, okay, to get good at that, or stay out. Just stay out of it and wait until everything's died down and you can go in safely, and then see what happens after the news is hit. And I've seen people hedge a trade, so they put a trade in both directions, and they use an account manager or a trade manager to do it for them. And if you get your numbers right and you really understand the process, then that can work in your favour. But at the same time, you've just got to know what you're doing. You've got to know your numbers, and you've got to do your setups in the right way. Let's just take off my so let's look at some others. So we've got what else have we got on the USD? So that's the same picture. The Euro and the GBP USD has both been manipulated in the same way. So the Euro CAD, okay, that's still hovering around that sort of this kind of area, and the kind of what we're looking at, 20 pips. So we've got like a 20 pip sideways rotation or a 20 pip zone. GBP CAD, same as that. So they're all pretty much doing the same. So you've got GBP CAD and the Euro CAD kind of doing the same thing, and you've got the Euro USD and the GBP USD both. I mean, look at it; they almost look the same, don't they? Both doing the same thing, following the news. Okay. So for us retail traders, we're just going to sit down and wait, and just see what's going to happen. So this may well be a bit of a short session today because we're still waiting for the markets to warm up, and it's going to be the same sort of story every day, I would say, until around the 15th. Monday the 15th is when we'll get back to some kind of normality. Yes, you can take trades in the meantime. Yes, there will be opportunities. Where's that gone down to there? Let's have a quick look at this. Let's put this on the 15-minute. And let's see why it's gone down to there. What have we got? We've got any imbalance? Can't see any. There's a bit there. Is that a bit? Okay. Look at this great big push here. Huge great push. So this was the 3rd of Jan 1915. Okay. 28 pips. So this imbalance obviously now has been well taken out, okay, and price is currently just here, okay. So it'll be interesting to find out what's going to happen. Right, let's put them on back on the 2 minutes. So price is starting to recover. I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll take away this imbalance as well, because that's gone now. Let's have a look. What's GP CAD doing? Not much. And see how important it is to put these areas of interest on. And when you put them on, it's just a case of putting them on the chart and then finding out, well, where did price touch? If you go look at that, like I said before, touches, all these touches, and if you play with the line and find out where it's going to, you'll find where the areas of interest actually make sense. And the more you do it, the more you'll get used to it, and the more confident that you'll get putting these lines on. And instead of just being random lines that you're putting on your chart, they actually start to form part of the story of what's happening on the charts, because there is always a story, whatever it is. And the story right now is, this is pretty dull. There's no real volume in the market. We've got the banks doing their thing, and it's dull. Nothing's really happening. All right. And the thing is, the point is, you don't want trading to be exciting. You don't want to get up in the morning. I mean, yeah, it is exciting. It's good to get up and it's nice to see the markets, but you don't want to stick your emotions in the markets, because that's when you start to lose your head. And trading's all about keeping a level head, just keeping completely logical and factual. Is that the word? Just keep it logical. Take all the emotion out of it, which is difficult to do. It's difficult to do when you're first getting started, because you're excited. When you learn new things and you develop your confidence, you get excited as well. And then suddenly, your world is the rug can get pulled from you, because suddenly the market takes you out and you don't know why, and you go, oh, I thought I had this trading thing on. I thought I understood trading. What's happening now? And sometimes when you trade, you just got to keep going to the next level. Okay, the next barrier. What happened there? Okay, now I understand what happened. Okay, and for some people, it rocks their confidence so much that they take a big step back. And some people just don't like trading because it's too. They can't handle their emotions. Okay, so as soon as you can handle your emotions and you look at it and you go, okay, why should I stay out of this trade? This, and this, not getting in, okay? And that's really what you do. And it comes to a point where some people will say, well, do you ever get in a trade? Because you've said this is bad, that's bad, let's stay out. And like I always say, it's better to stay out of a trade than get in and wish you were out. But look at all this, all so congested all the way there. It's like a big man flu. Yeah, I don't know what I say half the time anyway. As long as you get the message, it's all congested. So this is the Euro CAD, and they say this area of interest that we put on, it's still offering resistance to this price. We've got the Wadaratar is showing us a little bit more promise. Okay, we've got a nice sort of dark green, not particularly huge. The explosion line is moving away from the dead zone. We've got a wave up on our custom-made, straightforward Forex indicator. We've got the PSAR is green. We've got the wave up as well. So everything at the moment is in our favour. So all I want to do is make sure this price goes above the area of interest. So we're a minute away, or a minute and 10 seconds away from, and then we look at, where's our next area? Okay. Well, it could just peak up to there. So that's where it is, kind of where it is right now. So it's looking a bit more promising. But so I'm looking at these highs here, and this high here, which takes us up to the imbalance. Okay, so it looks promising, but the fact is there's still not huge amounts of volume. So it just doesn't give me a huge amount of confidence for this price to then suddenly go up to this area of imbalance. And if it did, what are we talking about in terms of pippage? 11-ish pips, 10 pips. So potentially the numbers could work for us, but I'm not convinced. And it's like, well, when you look at all the factors that I've just gone through about, you know, the wave ups and the histogram and that sort of thing, you go, okay, it's all in your favour, but how do you really feel about a trade? What's your gut instinct telling you about this trade? Okay, and I'm not talking about emotions when it comes to gut instincts. I'm talking about the other things that you haven't consciously figured out. Okay, and my mindset right now is like, the market, there isn't enough volume in the market to convincingly go up like there would be in normal circumstances. I think it will come up to about here and then it'll come back down again. Right, that's all. That one play out. So let's have a look at the GBP USD and see what that's doing. That's kind of going to the downside. So on the 15-minute, we're currently right at an area of interest right now. Okay, and as you can see, it'll probably start to retrace and go back up, and then we've got an area of interest down here. Okay, so from this area, I mean where it was anyway, we've got sort of 8 pips. But like I said, you know, excuse me, this big red candle is due to manipulation, and nah, nothing. See all these small candles? This little doji candle, little indecision one, that's the same. Bit more volume. It's just there's no volume in it, and this is just after the news, so nah, nothing. Okay, Euro CAD. Yeah, I was right there. See, it peaked at that high here, okay, and then it just came down. Euro USD, same sort of thing. No real manipulation, no real volume, going sideways. GBP CAD, still, this area is still resistance, and it could be resistance for quite some time. You know, look at this area here. It's sort of certainly a significant area. 69,300. Let's go and put a line on that because that is quarter point theory. 69,300. So quarter point theory is where you get like 300, 400 solid numbers, and it gives a bit more of a confidence boost in a certain area. So we call it quarter point theory, and it's another sort of area of interest. And what you'll find is that if the price action looks good and you've got a quarter point like this, then You can set your take profits to just below or above that level, and it can give you a good take profit level based on your numbers. But again, that's just, there's all kinds of different things that you can do when it comes to trading. It's like building a house. You get 10 different builders together, they'll all have a different theory on how to set it out and how to start and how to mix your stuff. They all have and it's the same with trading. There's so many different ways, there's so many quirks and foibles, so many different little strategies that people do. And if you look at all of them, eventually you can just go mad trying to depict what everyone's trying to tell you. Really, all it's a case of doing is understanding the principle and understanding supply and demand, resistance and support, and developing your own way and your own understanding based on what you do, and the only way you can do that is with repetition and going on the charts and just trading every day. Go on it, put those lines on. Okay, don't just put a line on and go, okay, line's on. Put the line on and go, okay, why is it touching there? What's happening? What's the relationships? What's going on? And that's what you really want to know. And you don't get that when you just purely trade from indicators. A lot of people do that and they go, okay, that colour's green, that colour's red, that colour's green, let's get in. Okay, well, that's not good enough for me. Okay, why has it gone green? Okay, why is it changing? What's the difference? You need to know the ins and outs of it, really, to kind of understand it. You need to see the wiring under the board when it comes to trading to really understand what's happening, and that gives you the confidence, because ultimately, you want to trade. If you can trade without indicators and just purely go on price action, putting a few trend lines on, then you've got the skills to be a competent trader. And that's what you want. You want to be a competent trader, you want to be profitable, and you want to be consistently profitable with it as well, okay, by developing your skills. And this is why I don't really recommend bots, AI. Hate it. Everyone's talking about how great AI is. Yeah, that's until it takes you out, or until the developers of the software run off with the program, and then what you're left with? Nothing. So as I said yesterday, you develop your skills. Nobody can take skills away from you, and it's up to you to practice them skills. Okay, let me say that again. It's up to you to practice those skills. Okay, and to take the time to come on the charts and do it. And so what if it takes a year to get competent at trading? So what? How long have you been alive? Okay, how many years did you waste at school looking at bloody algebra? Yeah, that you've never used. The Pythagoras theorem that you never used. Okay, and yet you come on here, you can learn trading, and you can become financially free if you want to. Okay, if you do this often enough, you get your head screwed on, you understand the numbers, and you just take things step by step. It's possible. Right, with that little speech over with, let's have a look at GBP CAD. Still doing the same thing. You can see now how critical or important these areas of interest are. Okay, if that line wasn't there, what would you say? You'd say, why is price doing that? What's going on? Well, it's just a significant area. Previous resistance. Okay, right, we've been on 40 minutes. Nothing's really happening. Probably going to call it a day. So I think we know that. So for the next few days, for the next week or so, we know that the volume's going to be down in the markets, and we know that trading is going to be pretty much the same. However, just because we don't take a trade doesn't mean there's no value to be had in the training. There's always value to be had. There's always things we can learn. Right, let's have a quick look through. So Euro CAD resisting at this higher high. Okay, going sideways. The Euro USD is just kind of giving up the fight for now. Okay, no volume in it. GBP CAD, the same as Euro CAD, okay, resisting at the line there, and the GBP USD, very much the same as the Euro USD, going sideways. Anyway, hope that has given you some thought, or pause for thought, or whatever phrase you want to say. I hope you've learned something. And if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, then hit that subscribe button. I know we're probably up to about, I think today I checked, about 9 subscribers. So we're getting there. So yeah, 9 subscribers. If you want to be number 10, okay, that would be awesome. And if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments below. My text number is there as well. So if you need to know anything, just reach out to me. And we will talk on the next session. All right. Bye for now.